Morgan Ashley, bringing you the content that connects our communities. You're watching NonStop Local Pulse Prime.
Thanks for joining us on this edition of Pulse Prime. I'm Morgan Ashley. NonStop Local's drive for the title coverage continues as two of our teams continue their fight to make it to the national championship game. SWX's Grady Glover is in the house to kick things off for us tonight. Hey, Grady.
Hey, yeah, I mean, it's incredible. Still one game in action right now. That is between the Vandals and the Oklahoma Sooners women's basketball, but one of the fastest paced games that I've seen and a ton of action. We'll have highlights hopefully later in the show, but similar to the men, the women came out to a hot start, but the Sooners are top 20 in the country for a reason. We'll take you to where we're at right now in the fourth quarter. Oklahoma leads 76-42. Idaho was trying to let the Sooners shoot and guard the paint, but they still have close to 40 points in the paint. The Sooners do. Idaho just 6 of 37 from three. The Idaho coach said that this could happen. He said, we're going to let them shoot the ball, and if they make them all and we lose by 50, then I guess that's what's going to happen, and that is sort of what is happening here. But Idaho still trying to make a fight. There's still some time left, and if the game ends before the end of the show, then we'll come back on. We'll have the highlights for you.
Thanks. Sounds good. Thank you, Grady. Well, our coverage continues on our drive for the title and heading to the NCAA tournament, and hopefully the championship game is a dream shared with more than just the players on the team. NonStop Local's Noah Bolter spoke with some Gonzaga students supporting the team in the stands.
Lee Zajac is a senior at Gonzaga. She's a business major, and because she's been in the band all 4 years, well, she's learning about the logistics of travel. Come to your screen, let's show you what she looks like. You may actually recognize her. Zajac says her experience with the band has taught her leadership, music, and people skills that will stay with her forever. Some of her favorite moments, seeing the basketball team's success over the years, the text from her mom when she's seen on TV, and the support she gets from those around the university.
It's currently a school week, so some of my professors are like, hey, where are you? It's like, oh, I'm supporting the men's team, and they're just, everyone's so happy, they're so proud. It's honestly, it's indescribable how I could just like be here representing and doing something I love, which is just playing music.
Zajac has a ton of confidence in this year's men's team to have a deep run into the tournament, but even if they don't, she says she's proud of what they've accomplished. In Portland, I'm Noah Bolter, NonStop Local.
Well, we are in fire mode tonight as Moses Lake firefighters responded to a brush fire at Veers Wetland Park. This is around 9 o'clock this morning. They got there and found a fire burning through the wetland, about 2 acres in total. It damaged the park's observation deck and even threatened the Japanese garden in another nearby park. No injuries were reported, and the cause is under investigation. Let's bring in Chief Weather Forecaster Leslie Lowe with a first look at the forecast. It feels way too early to be talking about fire season, though.
Yeah, it really does. In fact, we've been watching major fires from Nebraska all the way down to Oklahoma. We do not want that yet, that's for sure. All right, let's get a look at that weather forecast. You can see our daytime highs today topping out above our average. Once again, 59 degrees. That was our high. Average is 50 degrees. Sunset tonight. I was so wrong. I thought because we had cloudy skies, it would not be as spectacular as it was, and it really was gorgeous. Was at 7:02. Winds have been a little bit feisty throughout the afternoon. We'll continue to watch for sustained winds anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour. Strongest wind gusts have been back through central Washington and across some of those northern mountains. Again, still going to see some of those breezy conditions back behind this cold front. Otherwise, showers start to taper off within the overnight hours tonight. You can see that little band as it pushes to the south and to the east of us. The heavier showers up in the mountain locations pushing over towards parts of western Montana. And we do have those avalanche watches that direction. Overnight lows tonight a little bit cooler than last night, but still above our average. We'll see an overnight low of 43 in Spokane, 50-degree temperatures tonight for our friends down in the Tri-Cities. Full look at that 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Leslie. To a crime tracker alert now. Police in Wapato are investigating after responding to a call about shots fired. This is in the 600 block of South Wapato Avenue last night. Details pretty limited, but they are asking anyone with information to come forward. They say you can remain confidential and anonymous. To a big story now, the Spokane Airport, City of Spokane, as well as the county are forming a coalition and submitting a plan to provide drinking water access to some 900 families living in the West Plains. It addresses additional testing for PFAS, known as forever chemicals, in private wells. The plan still needs to be approved by the department. You can actually find more details about that on nonstoplocal.com. Well, tracking your money now, coming up on Monday, Washington State Governor Bob Ferguson could sign a bill doing away with the U.S. penny in currency transactions across the state. NonStop Local's Heidi Miley went out to see how people feel about the change.
So the U.S. is giving individual states the ability to decide for themselves whether they want to let businesses do away with using pennies. We went out and about, and here's some reaction I got from customers.
Divine's convenience store and gas station cashier Christina Perez enjoys getting customers what they need on their busy days.
It's different people, customers in their work, or they're on work, or just coming in after work.
Some customers fear this could become another added cost. Another believes that the nation should keep using pennies because it's part of our history. Meantime, one Spokane native wants the state government to focus on what he calls more pressing things.
I find it interesting, first, that they're focused on the use of pennies with the resources we have here in Washington. And second, I question, the legitimacy of, how they're going to actually implement that.
Now, it's important to note that the measures that I'm seeing in Washington and some other states say that this is an option for business. It's not mandatory. And there are other states taking it up, like Florida, Virginia, Tennessee, and Oregon, and it's already law in Arizona. Reporting in Spokane, I'm Heidi Miley, NonStop Local.
Well, days after a fire destroyed a Post Falls building, students and staff are planning their future there. River Tech School, hosted at the River Church, is a performing arts and technology program with about 75 students. The blaze claimed the school and worship spaces Sunday morning. Within days, the founder of the school says student families came together to chart out a plan for continuing those lessons.
It's a heartbreaking reality that the school, the building, the church, preschool, everything that's going on in that community hub is gone. Yet it's not, because it's just the building that's gone. The people is there, the vision is there.
So the response of the community has really been something that's truly lifted me personally, but I believe also all of us.
The school will resume classes March 30th at a temporary location. They're now searching for a new facility for next school year. They're also looking for performing arts equipment, so musical instruments and class materials. The cause of that fire is still under investigation. Sharing the good now after a long career of serving Morrow County, Oregon. A familiar face in emergency response prepares to hand in his gear. NonStop Local's Brendan Jen shows us his impact goes far beyond the call of duty.
After taking care of people for most of my adult life, it's time to take care of me.
After nearly 30 years of serving the community, Boardman Fire Rescue paramedic Delbert Turner is closing a chapter in his life.
And I ended up as a volunteer loving it so much that I sold my business and went to school to become a paramedic.
Turner will retire from Boardman Fire Rescue at the end of March, but his legacy is firmly in place. He made history as the district's first full-time paramedic, helping build its emergency services from the ground up.
Staffing has got a lot bigger. As a fire department, we provide not only ambulance services, but fire service, wildland service. We have drones. We have many services now that we've just acquired in the last few years.
Since 1996, Turner has served Morrow County with a steady hand and a focus on compassion, not just responding to emergencies, but helping shape how care is delivered. Behind the scenes, his work made a lasting difference, securing more than $100,000 in grant funding for new equipment, training tools, and even the district's helipad.
We feel we need to have the option of having a helicopter pad in Boardman because of our distance from regional areas. And it's going to provide us a safer place to transfer patients and to land helicopters.
Now, after nearly 3 decades, Turner is stepping away to enjoy fishing, hunting, and camping. He's leaving behind a stronger program, better resources, and a community that's safer because of his work. But he won't be going too far.
I'm also agreed to stay on part-time. I'm going to take care of some inter-facility transports, when I'm available. More of my schedule. I'm just going to slow down. I don't want to completely stop.
In Boardman, Brendan Jin, NonStop Local.
What an amazing career, right? Good for him. Well, still to come here tonight on Pulse Prime, military actions in the war with Iran appear to yield positive results for the U.S., But could things escalate? Options for ground attacks in your national news.
And a live look over Spokane. Spring has officially begun. We'll get you into that full spring weekend forecast when I see you back here right after the break.
Content connecting community. You're watching The Pulse.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Bradley Warren. It's very nice to see you from the Pulse Studios with your top headlines. We'll start with this. Spokane Transit Authority is releasing its finding on January's double-decker bus crash. This after a 2-month investigation. According to the report available to us right now, the operator traveled along an incorrect path that didn't have clearance, of course, for the bus. They didn't follow policy when they failed to report the navigation discrepancy to dispatch or verify the route using official reference materials. Navigation system errors were confirmed by a third-party vendor not connected to STA personnel. There was no evidence of operator impairment or fatigue. The Department of Ecology is penalizing Seattle-based Amazon and Walmart by way of a $1 million plus fine for illegally selling, quote, climate-polluting cooling and refrigeration products. Ecology says that the companies were given more than one opportunity to make an edit, but chose not to comply over several years. We did reach out to both companies, statements available on your screen and on our website in full. They say they're working right now to improve the process and they're coordinating with the department. We'll go to Yakima Valley right now, where the state's Natural Resources Department says it will be training for the next week in the Mud Lake area. With that being said, they say smoke will be visible along with aircraft as they work right now to conduct those trainings on the 23rd and 25th. From the Pulse Studios, I'm Bradley Warren. Thanks for being with us. We're back after this.
Right now, NBC News is reporting the Pentagon presented President Donald Trump with options for boots on the ground inside Iran. For more than 20 days, the U.S. has been hitting the regime with airstrikes. Sources say several options are on the table at this point, including one aimed at opening the Strait of Hormuz by deploying troops to several islands in the Persian Gulf. They'd be tasked with stopping Iranian boats attacking oil tankers. Another option, hundreds of troops taking oil facilities on Hark Island.
If I told you the answer to that question, my military people would be very happy. But we have a lot of troops, we have unlimited ammunition, and we are decimating Iran. It's about time. And frankly, it should have been done long before me.
The most dangerous option, sending troops directly into Iran and to secure and retrieve highly enriched uranium. According to the president, the U.S. is very close to achieving its objectives, which are supported by Washington Congressional Representative Michael Baumgartner. Evacuation orders have been issued for parts of Hawaii's Oahu Island over fears a dam could fail at any moment. More than 5,000 residents were told to leave as a significant second storm hits the island state this week. Several people have been rescued from the North Shore because of flash flooding and several homes that have been destroyed.
All right, let's get a look at that weather forecast. Overnight lows tonight dipping down into the 40s. We do have some scattered showers. Those are going to stick around, and then everything starts to taper off back behind this cold front as we get you into our day tomorrow. So that tops off the low down. Temperatures also cool back behind the cold front. We're still a little bit above our averages for this time of the year. Here's the good news for the weekend. We've got gradual clearings. We're actually looking for some sunshine in the forecast. Enjoy it, because next week we've got that next series of storms. Those roll in, more valley rain, more mountain snow as snow levels continue to drop. For the weekend, if you happen to be traveling, it's up across the Great Lakes that we've got that clipper that's going to shoot across there and push over towards the northeast corner. And then the system that's bringing us the shower activity tonight is going to continue to go ahead and fizzle out and push over to the south and east. Montana will see some showers tomorrow. We've got some breezy conditions again for not only Spokane, but back to the east of us into Montana, down through Nebraska and over towards the Dakotas as well. Otherwise, you can see those clearing skies. The bigger picture is going to be the winds. We've got those blustery winds. Once again, we'll see some wind gusts upwards of 20-25 miles per hour in eastern Washington over towards north and central Idaho, back through central Washington. This is where we typically see stronger wind gusts, anywhere from 30, maybe even 35 miles per hour. As far as temperatures, we have had this heat dome right over the top of California, pushing into the desert southwest states, and then now starting to extend into the Midwest over towards the eastern seaboard. That bubble of heat has been bringing not only above average temperatures, but record-breaking heat to go along with that. We've got 82 degrees expected in Charlotte tomorrow, Nashville at 85, Little Rock checking in tomorrow at 86 degrees. We pop into the 90s from Kansas City down through Dallas into San Antonio. We've got 90-degree temperatures tomorrow for Denver, Colorado, 90s as well for Vegas, 104 expected in Phoenix, 85 degrees, so a little bit cooler down through Los Angeles. And we're actually seeing a bit of a cool down as well for Reno, but we're still sitting at 79 degrees, 73 expected in San Francisco. Pacific Northwest, we do have that little cool push behind the cold front from today, but we're still above our averages as we've got those daytime highs that are sitting right there within the mid-50s for Spokane over towards Coeur d'Alene, 59 degrees into Lewiston. We've got upper 50s in Orofino, a bit warmer down through Grangeville, central Washington. Looking for low to mid 50s for the Cascade Valleys up towards the Okanagan County, 58 tomorrow in Moses Lake. And then we've got upper 50s and 60s from Connell down through the Tri-Cities and into Hermiston. 7-day outlook. You can see the weekend, mostly sunny skies. There's that little bit of a dip in temperatures. Get outside and enjoy. Here comes that next round of unsettled weather on the way as we get Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll be watching those snow levels very closely.
Live from the Northern Quest Sports Studio. This is SWX Nonstop Local Sports.
Okay, the Idaho women game did just end, and we will have the highlights coming up in a second. But the Gonzaga men, they won yesterday. They're going into the round of 32 tomorrow. As Austin Getz tells us, they aren't overlooking the 11th seeded Texas Longhorns.
The Gonzaga men have made it past the first round of the NCAA tournament, and the path only gets tougher from here. Zags getting ready to take on 11 seed Texas, who has already won 2 games this week. First on Tuesday in Dayton, Ohio, they took down NC State in the first 4. Then they moved on to upset 6 seed BYU here in Portland on Thursday night.
They have a lot of really talented shot makers. They have, some older guys who've played some big-time games. So I think it'll be a great test for us.
But just trying to push the pace, get in transition as much as we can, play good, clean, physical defense with 1 rebound, no extra possessions for them, and fly the ball up and just keep things physical on both ends of the floor the right way.
For the Longhorns, it's been a whirlwind week, little to no rest, and now they have to face Gonzaga. But they say in March, sleep is underrated.
I think everyone's honestly going to feel it a little bit, but also we went to Maui. We played 3 games in 3 days, so we've had time and experiences this season that's kind of prepared us for this. At this point of the year, I think everyone has the same fatigue level, so it's just kind of a matter of who can push through it and who wants it more.
It's not going to be any walk in the park. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to take our best effort, to get the job done, and we're highly capable. So just looking forward to the opportunity.
So it's 3 seed Gonzaga and 11 seed Texas Saturday night here at the Moda Center. The Longhorns looking to keep this run going, while the Zags look to get back to the Sweet 16. Reporting in Portland, Austin Getz, SWX.
Thanks, Austin. Another Gonzaga team that was in action today, the women, where A.J. Howell says the future is bright for this squad.
The Gonzaga Bulldogs falling to Ole Miss is, of course, not the ending that they wanted, but there is a bright future with a lot of young faces that just might stick around the Bulldogs program. Of course, for many of them, their first time playing in an NCAA tournament game. It must be hard to balance, being excited about where you are and feeling proud, but also not being satisfied with the result.
I think I'm a really competitive person, so I take losses like these to the heart. I give it my all, and I think that there's definitely balance to be found in that, and we're growing a lot, and we are really youthful. So I think next year, just kind of using this as a jumping pad and catapulting forward, hopefully, into our season next year, and using this, fourth quarter and then this whole season, honestly.
Our whole goal was to make it to this tournament, so we completed our goal, which was really nice. A win here would have been extra. And just finishing the game the way we did, being so young, I know there's more to come for us, and I'm really proud of us.
We've grown a lot this year, and that's super cool. And that was always, every day we're just trying to get better. And so I think today was, a good bow to the season. Fourth quarter, we fought hard and we fought to the end, and so I'm proud of us for that. But we haven't even reached not even close, reached the potential we have. And so that's what I'm most excited for, is just our ceiling is so high. I think I heard Whitty say it, we don't have a ceiling. So I'm just excited for that next year.
Having a young team, I think we showed a lot of grit in that last quarter, and I think if that's how we can play going forward in these next couple of years, we can be a pretty dangerous team, and it's just exciting to see where our potential is and where our ceiling is as well. And so knowing that Ole Miss was going to bring that physicality, and they have a lot of seniors, I think just kind of puts it into perspective. And I think if we could have kind of punched from the start earlier, I think it could have been a more exciting game. But yeah, just really proud of the girls and experiencing this first NCAA tournament, and hopefully we can make a few runs next few years.
I think it's easy when we're as close as we are, the team. Even though it didn't go the way that we wanted, I think we always fight till the end, and we've shown that throughout this whole entire season. So the team makes it easy when we just have each other's backs, and we're always there for each other to pick each other up.
Of course, we're in a new time of college athletics, and we won't know who will be on the roster next year for quite a while. But there's plenty of reason to be excited for fans, the program, everyone involved. Just a lot of fun to watch tonight, and a lot of excitement and hope for the future. Reporting in Minneapolis, A.J. Howell, SWX.
Thanks, AJ. We had an update for you earlier in the show, but the game just went final, so let's get you some highlights from Oklahoma. Joe Vandal made the trip to support the Vandal women taking on the Sooners. The Vandals, they came out strong. Here's Deborah Dos Santos, catches, wants the 3, got the 3, and they're up 11-9. They win the race to 10. Sahara Williams catches the ball at the free throw line. They wanted to let the Sooners shoot, and she does, makes them pay. Leads up to 10 for Oklahoma. Here's Kira Gardner, who's going to drive, kicks out to Anna Pinheiro. Her three on the way. That one's good. Cuts into the deficit, makes it a 12-point game, but right before the half, the bullet pass from Kaya Smith back to Williams. That three-pointer good as well as they go on to win this one. Oklahoma wins it 89-59 over Idaho. They'll advance to face Michigan State. Idaho wins the Big Sky, but their season comes to an end.
Well, that's all the time we have for tonight. I hope you had a great one, and we'll see you back here tomorrow evening.